Today we are at Dinosaur National Monument in Vernal, Utah. Come with us as we travel back into the age of the dinosaurs, 65 million years or so.
Welcome to the journey. Dinosaur National Monument is in northeastern Utah, just outside of the city of Vernal. It includes one of Earth's richest known dinosaur fossil beds. These remains are from the Jurassic period, over 150 million years ago. During a drought, many dinosaurs died near a river's edge. When rains returned, the floodwaters carried the jumbled bones of over 500 dinosaurs, representing 10 species, to this location. Ancient river sediments, now called the Morrison Sandstone Formation, entombed the dinosaur bones. Minerals then saturated the bones and cast them into stone. Erosion eventually exposed the fossils, and in 1909, Earl Douglas of Pittsburgh's Carnegie Museum declared this site the best-looking dinosaur prospect I have ever found, unquote.
The first thing we always do is go to the visitor center. We want to learn more about where we are, and we want to hit up the gift shop. So always lots of great things to be able to purchase, look at. I just love national park gift shops, and a lot of it is because I get my postcards. Okay, I've got my postcards ready to put the stamps on. This is the date. Always check the direction. Perfect. Okay, so then there's two extras. There is, oh, Junior Ranger. I didn't do the Junior Ranger stuff, but it's still cool. And a dinosaur. Then shake them because they will be wet and they smear all over.
Go stand next to it. I mean, give it some perspective.
Perspective.
It's as tall as you?
Probably.
Taller?
Like 5 feet.
Holy cow. Quarries contained in this big building. You come in down here on the main floor and you can walk along in front of it, and then in towards the back you've got this ramp that you can walk up. There's a ramp on the outside as well that will let you get up to the top floor where you get a better view of the bones that are still in the rock. So the quarry is about 190 feet long and is enclosed in this building to protect it and to provide visitors with access year-round. Paleontologists do still come and work on it and are continuing to excavate the bones, but for the purposes of the site and for educating visitors, they are choosing to leave the majority of the bones in sight. If you come up on the outside, they've got these little discs right here that are mounted on the hand railing, and they kind of give you a sense of time. So this one represents 150 million years ago, the sauropod dinosaurs dominate, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And then as you walk along, you've got these discs every so often that put the geologic time into perspective for you. So this is 140 million years ago, so 10 million years have elapsed since that last one right there. So this is 140 million years ago, flowering plants evolve. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but it's way down there at the end. I'll walk down to it. Is the next one, and it is 95 million years ago. Shallow seas cover Utah. So I don't know if that's referring to Lake Bonneville. Lake Bonneville was I don't know why they call it a lake, but it was a shallow sea that covered most of what is now the Colorado Plateau. But you can see, if I look back up the walkway, clear up there, that's where the other one was at 140. So that's going to be, 55 million years has transpired. Now if I come down and I walk around the edge, and we're now at 65 million years ago, and all the dinosaurs go extinct. So in the period of time from here to that one that was up there at the top, that's where the dinosaurs were and thrived. And then they go extinct by this period of time. 45 to 65 million years ago, the Rocky Mountains rise up. So up there was where the Rocky Mountains rise. Here's 5 million years ago. The Green and Yampa rivers are cutting canyons. 4 million years ago, supposedly, when the earliest human ancestors evolved in Africa. Then you've got this little display that shows the most recent 2 million years. 50,000 years ago, we've got the earliest bighorn sheep in Utah. 16,000 years ago is the most recent ice age. 1,000 years ago, Fremont people live here in Utah. And then in 1909 was when they discovered the fossils here, and when this area started to be explored. So I'm standing at the edge of the parking lot. Let me show you relative to where we were. I'm standing over at the edge of the parking lot from the quarry building, and wanted to show, here's the sandstone formation that southern Utah is so famous for. This is not as brightly colored, but it's the same formation that we love in southern Utah, the Moab area. And I don't know if you can see, but down here is a trail. And they have these trails that let you go and explore some of the areas where there are still bones that are in the ground and the rock here in this part of Utah. Now, you're not allowed to take them. Even if you weren't in the park, it's against the law to remove dinosaur bones or Indian artifacts or any of that kind of stuff. We want to be very serious about protecting those so that they are able to be studied by the appropriate people. But this area is beautiful, and it gives you the ability to see where these dinosaurs have been found. This is not what it would have been like when they were alive, of course, but it's where the bones remain, and it's where the paleontologists have to come and work, and it's not necessarily an easy job for them to find these bones. It is really pretty here, but we're in the beginning of November, and you can see there's a little bit of snow on the ground, and it is cold. So plan appropriately. If you're going to come here, you probably need to make sure that you dress warmly and that you bring a jacket. The buildings, the visitor centers, are warm and are comfortable, but if you're going to do anything outside, you need to plan for it.
Back in Vernal, you want to make sure and go to the Utah Field House of Natural History State Park Museum. It's interesting that it's a state park. In 1948, the state of Utah actually set aside funding to build this museum. It's obviously been remodeled probably a couple of times since then, but right now it is a beautiful museum that shows the different dinosaurs that can be found in the Uinta Basin.
So the main area that you enter in this museum is filled with a giant skeleton, but you'll notice this map on the floor, and it represents an 80-mile radius of the geologic levels that are exposed in this area. And it's a really kind of an interesting way to view this part of northeastern Utah. When you're finished inside this museum, one of the things that's kind of cool is you exit out a different set of doors, and they take you to this dinosaur garden that you can walk through, and they have these replicas of the dinosaurs that you can see. And this is how you exit the museum and work your way back around to the parking lot. Pterodactyls swooping down and grabbing you. Ah!
Thanks for coming with us on our journey. Make sure you check us out next week for a new video.